Yo di sim dege kai jim trouble. Tande sa ma do bigan se yon ek yo pata menm kopon sa ki reneje. So, tande sa ma do, right? If my son, I haven't spoke to him a long time. I have so many children. I even have a son. You remember the do re mi do re mi do re mi? Remember when you get certain people get vocal practices, they have to know how to do certain tones of pitches, and it shows them the balancing of their chord of their harmonical frequency. So certain words are given to you to see the attribute of the quality of your pitch of one's voice, right? So my son Jeremy and stuff, right? If they ever notice something in life, they're gonna notice their reality is different. It be besides of a little stupid fuck up that they have a certain type of way. That it's just like you ever have a child. One child is okay a certain type of way because one child knows exactly what to do for themselves and not to fuck up. Then you have another child that's okay, but that's a little more adventurous. It's just like having a child that that is not into the propaganda of the world, and then you have another child that just wants to be how can I say this? Um, a gothic tattoo, not caring individual, or I don't care, life, all into the reasons of not having emotions a certain type of way in life. So one has to be careful. But if my other sons, like I was telling you, like Jeremy, Scoop, all of them, if any of them ever felt a way about certain things, or like Tavern, and any of them ever felt a way about reality of existence, they would notice that at a point their life was showing something a certain type of way, but because of consideration I had of my mental while I was in Chicago, their habitation might be different right now. So, but you have the one that you ever have one that just is so ignorant a certain type of way, and because of the way it causes ignorance, certain things are happening because the it's just like you ever went to a place and they did acupuncture, and then they acupuncture one place, you go, oh, you're like, no, no, no. And then that person wonders why a person reacts like that, and they never had that reaction at the time. And then you look at the person, like, no, please, don't do it over there. It's over here. When you start showing them somewhere, like another person be like, I be it's right here, so so. It's like, or you go to a place like a masseuse place, and then they're supposed to give you acupuncture a certain type of way, right? If a person knows what they're doing is gonna happen a certain type of way, then the person asks you where's so and so, or a certain type of way. If a person some people are just different a certain type of way, but another person doesn't know, so they ask you where is so and so. You see me, I'm different. I don't have to ask you something like that. But another person I have to ask you about something. There's a difference in reality. I'm just showing you there's a difference in reality a certain type of way. Now, another person at a time, you know, if if they don't know, if, if they don't know if they don't know what's going on in a person's life a certain type of way, it'd be all type of situations. It'd be all type of situations in life, and then you have it's just like having a child that is in the life that just doing things for themselves or having a child that's, you know, that, life is different. Life is just different. They did something that might have caused the family at a time just to not have certain consideration a certain type of way. A certain type of way. A person might be sensible to the things that may have already might be in a certain type of way and feel a way because a person's mentality, the way they're looking about life, and the way it's just like you ever had somebody like say a person a basketball team, right? Say one day a coach says, "Hey man, this is how you do it, man. Yo, you feel like this, yo, listen, man, this is so and so. You'll never be able to do this. You always be able to do this. So this and the other. So and so." He'll tell you all type of things, and then he feels wonderful about the players, but the people playing sometimes the other things that might be happening with them in school or the mentality towards each other, it might be skeptical to some of the even other players. So they might feel a way like, oh, I don't really want to continue a certain type of way, and then the coach got to find out why. But say if the person doesn't want to tell them, then you have a person that makes certain things feel awkward a certain type of way at a time. But they continue playing games because they go all the way to the championship, and then a person has to know the difference because the coach is just trying to realize certain things for himself, but then the comfortability of the individuals that's really doing certain things will continue. It's not going to go exactly the way an individual expects. You might get to up where another person says, I don't want to, I don't, and then it might have been ahead of time. This person may have been feeling a certain type of way towards the situation, but you have another person that's just really, they really just playing because they want to play. So it's a difference. It's a difference in the reality, and then you might have somebody at a time. It's just like my wife. Some of my wives are very intellectual about certain things. See certain things and they okay, and we're gonna see so and so this and the other, and then the everyday sarcasticness at a certain time, and then and the end result, every day. Listen, like you have, like I said, I don't know, everyday sarcasticness at a time, and then in the end result of the sarcasticness, and I'm speaking about my wife, for instance. So at the end of the day, of sarcasticness, it just be on some like at the last moment, the embarrassment of one's own mentality of the because of sarcasticness. It's just like a person says, "What were you being so sarcastic for?" And certain things was happening to because of stupidity, right? Oh, okay. It's just like educating somebody so intricately, and then they want to show forms of. It's like my wife, my my celestial empress. Sometimes I used to have to sit down with her, and because she was a person that was different when it came to reality. Sometimes you would have to really sit down with her a certain type of way. My celestial empress, it's just all day complaining about certain things. My astrological empress, she'll tell you you'll just get away from her. She be beyond moody a certain type of way. The ones above, it just it, it's not too much. It's not a too much argument that when things are happening that's causing uncomfortability habitation, and that will cause arguments. There wouldn't be too much arguments with them when it comes to certain things. A person just knows them so well that how you doing, what's up, you know, you okay? You sure now? You know, it'll be all type of different type of situation, you know. But then you have the one that just it's just like my astrological empress. She couldn't really get too sarcastic at a time because what happened that caused that. You know, it's just like if something would happen, she would cause it to herself if she had the wrong type of mentality. But it would only happen to a certain type of way, precisely a certain type of way. So, you know, a person doesn't say nothing a certain type of way because, you know, it may have been for a reason or whatever the situation is. So and then you know, my wife at a level she doesn't. You know, I don't want to get into the reasons of her. I already know, so I don't really want to get into the reasons of her the reasons of her quality when it comes to her mental after a while because that's just a person that is just you know, I don't have time to hear complaints. So, you know, I don't want to hear that I go do. So, you know, I don't get into it with her. When I feel like it, I speak to her about certain things. If I don't, I just don't get into it. That's it. It's a difference in reality. Like I told you, it's just like the basketball team. I'm about to view this video right after I'm done also. So it's just like the basketball team, you know? if a person if a person does certain things, see I had the headphones in my ear, so you see I had the headphones in my ear. But if the person does certain things, it's just like a group reality. You have the coach that wants to make sure everybody gets a championship because what they get, he's getting paid for to show the reasons of the equality at a time and the development. Then you have the team, the individuals of their comfortability. You have people that want to play. Might have somebody at a point in time, I don't want to continue a certain type of way, or the individual. Then you have the people that, you know, uh, if their mentality could even get there at a time, a certain type of way, you know? And then the little intricate, you know, people say they go, people in school, the way they feel about each other while they're in school a certain type of way and stuff. Another person might be too much in another person's depth, or want to be in somebody's depth a certain type of way because the way they want to be considered in life, it because of certain things, and a person doesn't know something else. So you know, a person at a point that sees it's just like imagine a person that has a wonderful attribute, and like a coach sees one has a perfect attribute, another one can have the perfect attribute. When they're playing, you could do this, you can do this, you could do this, you'll be able to. And then as they're playing with each other, the coach sees the reason why one has the other a wonderful attribute, but the development of it is a difference in the reality, and then you have one that just wants to continue like a certain type of reality. It's just like you remember you ever seen the movie from Footloose when the guy went into the town and he thought everything was gonna be okay because when he finally got to a school he thought everything was gonna be okay, and another person says no, you know, it, it was it he had to get used to the certain life instantly because the way individuals already in town. Because I remember it was people of a certain type of town. They were already a certain type of way. And if everybody's hanging out having a good time, a person just wants an individual to be comfortable because, you know, the type of mentality individuals have is a comfortability. So it's not like another person to stay there and be stupidity, and then other people feel in certain type of way. So a person just wants somebody to be comfortable instantly a certain type of way. So the difference of the reality. But then the girl that the guy was dealing with, she was a chick that just didn't care because she done did certain things that people done knew, And if she couldn't fix the way her appearance in front of everybody else with somebody new, then she just couldn't care. It's like she had to be like the main focus, or it was nothing for, or, or she couldn't hear nothing for herself. So when the guy seen that, he seen there was other things that could have been more more intricate for his attention. Then the girl, she started endangering his life because it's just like if she couldn't, how can I say this, inspire him or influence him, then she wasn't gonna be happy because she already she already de- she already had destroyed her mentality because of another individual, and and the acknowledgement of their social habitation. She had to be different because the the way she feels like she was comfortable in living life. So just because she realized the guy wasn't, if he was a more upright individual, she didn't like that. So it was different. So it tells you she wanted to blame it on somebody else after a while. The reason why she was the way she was, so nobody else was able to take the downfall for her because of her ignorance at the time. So if somebody couldn't take the downfall for her, she was already mad at life because she didn't have nobody to blame but herself. So she was end up staying stuck because of something of her mentality of the choice that she makes a certain type of way. So. But you can't. Is this the guy even in the movie? He couldn't. It was it was it was it was fun. It was somewhat funny to him because she he tried to say to himself so it wouldn't be a certain type of situation, and then on top of it, when she couldn't cause him to be the downfall, the blame of a reality, it ended up in her emotions how she felt about the guy and things that she really wanted to do, but she couldn't do it in a certain type of way. So it reflected on how the guy was gonna end up living his life because the acknowledgement he may have got for himself a certain type of way. So the things that she wanted to do reflected on the social habitation that caused even the endangerment and caused her to even be more vindictive and mad about situations in life because of the outcome of the situation a certain type of way. So she she was just like after that it was just like she was like the Jesse of the Saved by the Bell. She knew everything. She knew how to study and be smart and everything. But the endurance for the next day wasn't really, her intellect was too much for another person. So the endurance of the day of her mentality wasn't enough for anybody else a certain type of way. So she 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 wanted somebody. It's just like being married. You ever have a marriage where you see me? I have many wives, right? I believe in secrecy. I believe in purity, even at the time, because I'm the head of the actual truth. So I believe in just a certain type of way when it comes to the reasons of one's higher education, of one's higher intellect, or admiration of oneself. So I'm just gonna be real of age, and she understands the reasons of the speaking about because I have to let the phone charge or whatever, right? So it's just like I told you, it's just like having a child of purity because I believe in the legacy and lineage of purity. So if a child understands the reason of his dignity, the reason why I should have admiration for one's habitation and oneself, I may indulge in the reason of the high tribute of the inquiry of self gratitude, even self consideration of my own habitation, of the fulfillment of myself, even at a time, a certain type of way. So it may be different for other people because other people may not know how to look at that because they might have, some people may not have an open door just to hinder somebody's equality. Just like I told you, like a person may have one child that might be different, and then wants to cause slackness in the physical reality of somebody, and then they wonder why what happened with what causes slackness, and then you have other child that know exactly about development, so it's a difference. But it's just like say Jesse. I'm gonna show you Jesse or the girl from Footloose. She she was the type of girl that just wanted to numb like if it was my wife, she would have caused the numbing of my wife's reality or my wife showing her promiscuism of the time when she wants to be acknowledged or she wants to be left alone a certain type of way. So it's just like you ever come home and then at, say one month your girl you have a wife that she was on her period, and then when she starts going through menopause or something, she she starts acting her attributes start acting different a certain type of way because she she's into it's like self gratification a certain type of way. If one is defecating oneself at a time, it just seems like too much because it's like an emotional balance for a person. Somebody looks to balance their emotions a certain type of way. So even I'm like that. It's just like if you when am I going outside to say anything to anybody for at any time? It's like what? You come to me if you need please you come to me and say something. I'll say nothing to you. If I choose to, it is a form of a pleasurable gift in a reality. Another person could be it may be graceful for another person, or it may be a, a certain type of way. It's like receptiveness of the reasons of acknowledgement or tribute, a certain type of way of one's high, of one's reality. Another person might know a person might be indulging in something like that, and they might be on it already, and that's at a time a certain type of way. So another person can't do certain things because a person looks for a difference a certain type of way, and then it's just like my wife. My wife doesn't want to easily be irritated or cause a situation when somebody does something a certain type of way because the way she acknowledges certain things is different from another individual. So if somebody causes her uncomfortability slightly when it comes to her habitation, she it, she doesn't consider it a certain type of way because she already knows herself, and she just is a person that's very precise or appropriate when it comes to etiquette or the ethics of the physical reality of one's habitation. And then she's a loving person, so she doesn't want to indulge in certain other things a certain type of way because she doesn't want to cause numbness of reality when it comes to another individual a certain type of way. my wife is very different with individuals when it comes to acknowledgement in consideration of individuals. So I'm already moody, so I already know exactly. So I don't even want to have to explain it a certain type of way. But that's all it is and stuff because you have a person that's made a difference, and then you have it's like my wife likes self gratitude, but she likes her humility is more than everything in life. So when it because that's her self that's her that's what really makes her happy when a person is humble a certain type of way when it comes to her life. So there's a difference in reality. So you know, I don't even say nothing because when certain things happen, you know, you know, I don't even care. I don't. Anyway, I'm gonna go do something and I'll explain certain things later on. You know, the 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 life is wonderful, but depending on well, I know myself. Another person you have to learn the reasons of one's the one's reality to be comfortable. So, just don't into me. It doesn't matter to me. So, but just don't get too much in consideration of certain things if a certain thing is